The universe is my best friend. Now, usually when concepts like that occur to me, it doesn't just happen like this. I mean, yes, it does, but there's always a period beforehand, a period of thought, a period of contemplation, a period where I can sense that something is coming. I don't quite know what it is, and then at some point, snap, it all falls into place and everything makes sense, and that's when the realization hits me. This time was different. This time, for some reason, it did happen. Snap, and it just hit me like that. There was none of that work that came beforehand to come to that realization. It's just literally this morning. I was lying in bed, just relaxing, because at this point, I don't know why, my body has developed the habit of waking up around 7. But the thing is, at this time of the year, it's still super dark and I'm still kind of tired. I know I can't sleep. And it's like, I don't want to get up because it's too dark and it's cold and I don't feel like being up at this time. So there's always this period of like not being able to sleep, yet not being ready to get up. So it usually lasts about an hour. I usually get up around 8. So I just kind of lie in bed and think and, sometimes respond to my wife if she sent me messages, uh, during the night, or just send her messages that she can read when she wakes up, or, respond to text messages from friends and family and stuff like that. Just basically relax in bed. And as I was doing that this morning, this concept of the universe is my best friend, I needed to treat it like this, just kind of like hit me out of nowhere. I really have no idea where it came from, but it did have that same sensation as those other realization that has that buildup, that has that sensation of, okay, something is going to happen. I sense that there's something coming. Not quite sure what it is, and then it happens. It had that same sensation, yet there was none of that came beforehand. It was strange. This almost never happens. And it's as simple as that. It's really like, okay, the universe is my best friend because when you think about it, the relationship that I have with it is very, very, very similar to the relationship that best friends have. I know they're always there to support me, to encourage me. Whatever I need, I know they're going to be there for me. And, I know that they love me. And I also know that because they love me, sometimes they're willing to let me suffer because they know it's what's best for me. And that's exactly what the universe does. And same thing. A best friend sometimes, because they love you, will be upfront with you and like, hey, if you're being a jackass, they'll be like, hey, dude, you're being a jackass. Stop being a jackass. Universe is the same thing. Sure, its way of communicating that to you is different, but the relationship is very, very similar. And when I started 6 or 7 months ago at this point, when I started really treating the universe as an actual person, an actual thing, an actual being that I can communicate with, and I did make a video back then talking about that. Um, I forget. I think it was titled something like "The Universe in My Pocket," something like that. I forget exactly, but it's basically this idea of in order to manifest what you want to manifest in your life, you can literally talk to the universe and communicate with it, not just through your actions and your thoughts, but also literally communicate with it. So what I did is I went in my phone and I went and created a contact named the universe with a fake number, and through WhatsApp I started messaging them and sending them pictures and videos and text messages, and I literally started having a conversation with the universe. Of course, it didn't respond back. I'm not insane. But just having that way to connect just made it easier for me to communicate with the universe. And now, 6 or 7 months later, that I had this realization of, oh, wait, the universe is my best friend. I can communicate with it. All I need to do is communicate with it as if it's my best friend. And that's just going to make everything easier. And I know this is not a concept for everyone. I know a lot of people will find this weird, and that's okay. In fact, I kind of enjoy being weird. I would never do anything just to be weird, but I like the fact that I'm not like most people. I find being normal kind of boring, so that's okay if I'm weird by doing this. But to me, once again, just like that idea of creating a contact in my phone and literally communicating with the universe, just thinking of it as my best friend and communicating with it in such a manner is helping me clarify, exactly what I want, how I communicate that to the universe instead of just instead of just doing that through my thoughts and beliefs and my actions and communicating with the universe through my thoughts by just what I used to do is I would just lie in bed and just speak to the universe, not out loud, just with my thoughts. And that's how I would communicate, but using my phone and being able to interact with it in a much more real world manner by sending videos and pictures and text messages and everything that just took things to another level. And then considering, treating this relationship as a best friend relationship takes it to that other level. And it's just, even though, it is weird, and to most people it's probably either not going to make sense, or it's just like it's not a good fit for them. For me, it is the perfect fit. And every time I add an extra layer to that, it just deepens and strengthens my relationship with the universe. And that allows me to better communicate with it and more easily let it know what I need, what I want, and just makes it easier to manifest what I'm trying to manifest. Like, yes, there are the principles I discussed in one of my latest videos, but there's also, the ability to communicate with the universe and let it know, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need, and you're able to clearly express that. And by having that relationship of, hey, the universe is my best friend, it's like it removes some of that, kind of like equalizes the relationship. It's not like, oh, the universe is all powerful, it can control everything. It's like, no, we're best friends. It's like, yeah, okay, it is powerful, it can do things that I can't do myself, but it's my best friend. It's always going to do what's best for me. And treating the relationship that way just makes things more logical for me, first of all, and just easier. And it doesn't feel like, that's one of the things I discussed religion and God and everything in my last video. And that's one of the things that I don't like about religion and the concept of God, whatever version of that God is, whether it's, Christian or any other religion, it really doesn't matter. But it's always that relationship of like, you're basically an ant and God is all powerful and he can do what he wants. He decides what you're deserving of. You're completely powerless. You don't get to decide anything. You're basically just begging like, hey, please allow me to have this. Like, I know that's not really it, but that's always kind of the impression that it gave. So that's why, to me, having this new understanding of like, oh, I need to treat the universe as if it's my best friend, it equalizes that relationship. And even though, yes, we have different abilities, there are a lot of things that the universe can do that I can't do, a lot of ways in which it can help me. It's no longer like I'm always begging for its help and it's deciding whether or not to give it to me. It's just like, hey, we're best friends. It's always going to do what's best for me, even if sometimes that means calling me out of my shit. Sometimes it means allowing me to suffer. Sometimes it means not giving me what I think I need. So yeah, I just thought it was an interesting concept, and it's just a fun way to think about things. It just makes that relationship more fun. It's like I can literally treat it as an actual best friend relationship, and it's like, when something cool happens to me, I can share with it. It's like I know there's no point to it really, because it's the universe. It can see everything. It's aware of everything. It already knows everything. But it just feels like it would be fun to treat it that way and be like, hey, dude, like, guess what just happened to me? You know? Like I do with my actual best friend, And some other close friends. So, yeah, I just thought it was a really cool concept. Something I'm going to start applying. And I just thought it was important to share it. So, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.